We spend our entire lives aiming at the targets set by the world: success, fame, and recognition. But when the bowstring of our soul is pulled too tight, the weight of 1,000 expectations rests on a single finger. Every eye is a judge, every heartbeat a drum, waiting for the moment of perfection or failure. When the goal becomes an obsession, the world disappears. There is only the target, burning like a cold sun, blinding the eyes of the one who watches. We chase the echoes of applause, believing that the next victory will finally bring us peace. Yet, the more we win, the more we fear losing it all. The praise of the crowd is a heavy cloak. It warms the ego but suffocates the spirit, turning a master into a servant of his own reputation. Pressure is a silent poison. It narrows our vision until we can no longer see the beauty of the path, only the desperate need to reach the end. A heart that is too tight cannot feel the rhythm of the wind. A mind that is too full cannot find the center of the moment. The arrow flies, carrying the weight of 1,000 dreams. But a flight born of fear is a flight that has already lost its way toward home. The sound of failure is louder than any cheer. It echoes in the silence of the soul, revealing the fragility of a life built on outward scores. In that single moment of missed aim, the illusion shatters. The hero is human again, left alone with the hollow shell of his own burning ambition. When we miss the mark, we realize that the target was never the problem. The problem was the archer who forgot how to simply be present. Silence follows the storm of ego. It is in this emptiness that the first seed of a new journey begins to take root in the darkness. To find what is lost, one must leave what is known. He turns his back on the medals and the noise, seeking a truth that cannot be won. The journey inward begins with a single step away from the crowd. It is a path of shadows, leading toward a light that does not burn. Somewhere on that peak lives a master of the invisible, a man who shoots without a bow and hits a target that does not exist in time. Pressure does not come from the bow. It comes from the fear of failure. To find true strength, he must learn to walk without a destination. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Amidst the giants of stone and wood, the ego of the man begins to feel beautifully small. Each step is a shedding of a layer. The archer becomes the traveler becomes the seeker, and the seeker becomes a part of the earth. The mist is a mirror of the mind. When we cannot see the way ahead, we are forced to look within for the compass that never lies. Chasing a goal is easy. Letting go of the need for a goal is the hardest mountain to climb. The air grows thin and the self pales. The roar of the water drowns out the voices of the past. In the presence of pure force, there is no room for the vanity of titles. This journey is not about finding a new target. It is about losing the version of himself that was so desperate to win at any cost. Under the infinite sky, the pressure of a human life seems like a whisper. We are but dust, yet we contain the light of the stars. Every morning is a new birth. Without the noise of the city, the silence begins to speak a language the heart has long since forgotten. The target is a fixed point, but life is a flow. To be accurate in life, one must become as fluid as the mountain breeze itself. Above the clouds, the perspective changes. The problems of the world below are hidden by a blanket of peace, leaving only the present moment. And there, at the edge of the world, stands the destination. Not a palace of gold, but a hut of straw, where truth lives in simplicity. The hermit does not move. He is a part of the mountain, a part of the wind, a living testament to the power of pure stillness. He comes with questions, with a heavy heart, and with a bow that has forgotten how to shoot. He seeks a master to heal his soul. The master's gaze does not judge. It sees through the layers of fame and failure, straight into the quiet spark that remains within the archer. To learn, one must first become empty. To be filled with wisdom, one must pour out the old wine of pride and the vinegar of regret. A simple gift, A simple gesture. In the world of the mountain, there are no honors, only the basic elements that sustain our shared existence. Silence is the first lesson. Before the bow is drawn, the heart must learn to be as quiet as the stone beneath their feet. The journey of the bow is over. The journey of the spirit is about to begin. The master prepares to reveal the secret of the void. The master speaks through the steam of a teacup. Every movement is deliberate, every drop of water a lesson in the art of being present. The bow is like the bamboo. Its strength lies in its emptiness. If it were solid, it would break. If it were full, it could not fly. The hermit says, "A target is the enemy of precision. When you see a goal, you create a division between yourself and the destination you seek. How do you shoot without an arrow? How do you aim without a mark?" The archer's mind struggles to grasp the paradox of the master's way. Look at the valley. It does not try to be a valley. It simply is. The grass does not aim to grow. It just follows the sun. When a leaf falls, it does not think of the ground. It surrenders to the air, and in its surrender, it finds the perfect path down. The first step is to unlearn. Unlearn the desire to be great. Unlearn the fear of being nothing, and simply sit with the breath you take. The mind is like a pond. When you stir it with ambition, it becomes cloudy. When you let it be, the truth becomes as clear as crystal. The master's touch is a reminder. You are not the bow, you are not the arrow, and you are certainly not the score on a board. Close your eyes to see. When the world of shapes disappears, the world of essence begins to reveal its hidden patterns and its silent music. Precision is not an act of will, it is an act of alignment. When you are in harmony with the universe, the target finds you effortlessly. Feel the tension without the strain. Let the power flow through you like a river, not like a dam that is about to burst wide open. The master knows that the archer is close. The shell of the ego is cracking, and the light of the true self is beginning to shine. The bird does not work to fly. It trusts the air. You must learn to trust the silence in the same way the bird trusts the wind. The moon does not try to light the path. It simply shines. Be like the moon. Let your actions be a natural reflection of your being. The image of the target is just a reflection. If you chase the reflection, you will always be disappointed. Seek the source that creates the light. You are the mountain. You are the sky. When you realize there is no other, there is no longer anything to hit or to miss. The breath is the bridge. It connects the mind to the body and the body to the infinite. Listen to its tide and let it lead. When the mind is empty, the bow becomes a tool of the spirit. The string you cannot see is the strongest one you will ever pull. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of focus. It is being the eye of the hurricane while the world spins. The lesson of the nameless bow is simple. Give up the archer, give up the target, and only the act of shooting will truly remain. The night is not scary when you have found the light within. The darkness is just a canvas for the soul to paint its own truth. In total darkness, the eyes are useless, but the soul sees with a clarity that the sun could never provide. Now, the real practice begins. When you shut out the world, you open the gates of the universe. The target is no longer out there. It is everywhere and nowhere. The light of the spirit is the only aim that matters. It does not flicker with the wind of praise, nor does it dim with failure. Within you lies a map of the infinite. When you stop trying to be someone, you realize that you are already everything that ever was. Every movement is a prayer. Every breath is a step toward home. There is no tension here, only the pure joy of existing in space. You are not drawing the bow. The universe is drawing it through you. You are simply the channel for a power that knows no limits. Listen to the pulse of existence. It is the same rhythm in your heart as in the turning of the tides and the birth of suns. When the soul is in bloom, the world cannot help but follow. Beauty is the natural consequence of a heart that has finally found its rest. Weightlessness is the ultimate goal. The heavy burdens of I must and I should melt away into the vast ocean of I am and it is. To be sensitive is to be powerful. When you feel the subtlest shift in the air, you become one with the direction of the arrow's path. The self is the final target. To hit the mark, you must first destroy the one who is aiming. Only then can the shot be perfect. The release is not an end, but a beginning. It is the moment when the separate parts of the world merge back into a single unity. He lets go, not because he is finished, but because he has become the flight itself. There is no longer a gap between intention and action. The invisible arrow finds its way through the dimensions of the heart. It does not hit a wooden target. It pierces the veil of the ego. Liberation is the feeling of no longer needing to prove anything to anyone. It is the deep breath of a soul that has come home. Everything is holy when you look at it through the eyes of stillness. The rocks, the trees, and the very air are filled with light. In the absolute silence that follows, the archer understands. The target was just a ghost, and the arrow was just a thought. Now, only reality remains. The master's work is done. A new master has been born, not through the mastery of the bow, but through the mastery of his own heart. The target has disappeared forever. In its place, there is only the infinite horizon, and a heart that no longer knows the meaning of fear. He returns to the world, but he does not bring back his bow. He brings back something much more powerful, a silence that cannot be broken. The noise of the city is no longer a distraction. It is just a part of the great song of life, a song he now understands completely. He no longer wears the armor of his reputation. He walks as a simple man among simple people, finding extraordinary beauty in the ordinary world. Success is no longer measured by the height of his aim, but by the depth of his kindness and the presence he gives to others. The world is the target, and he has hit it not with an arrow, but with his love. Every corner of the earth is his home now. Life moves like the waves, sometimes high, sometimes low. He stands on the shore of his own being, watching the tide with a grateful heart. The bow is a memory, a teacher that has fulfilled its purpose. It rests now, a symbol of the journey from pressure to the ultimate peace. Even in the smallest things, the infinite can be found. A speck of dust in the light is as important as a star in the galaxy. Most are still chasing the visible targets, unaware that the prize they seek is already within them, waiting in the silence between their thoughts. To be still is to be whole. It is the greatest victory one can ever achieve in a world that never stops moving and demanding. The invisible target is the realization that there is no destination. There is only this breath, this moment, and the infinite peace that contains it. The journey from pressure to stillness is not about doing more. It is about being more by needing less. It is the art of letting go. Every ending is a new beginning. As the archer disappears into the light, the lesson remains. The most important target is the one you cannot see. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of your own true nature. Breathe in the stillness and let the world be as it is. The arrow of the soul has no end and no beginning. It flies forever in the heart of the infinite. Just breathe and finally let go.